Hi, I'm Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk, and here I have the HP iPAQ data messenger, which is one of the latest Windows Mobile offerings from HP. Typical HP style, quite an attractive box with all the information on the outside, but let's obviously be more interested in what's on the inside, so let's take a look. We have our welcome and getting started, and information on Nebraska Navigator. Inside we have the handset itself, which we'll look at in greater detail in just a second. Just want to have a look at what else is in the box. We have a battery, which is fairly small. The capacity there isn't actually mentioned on the outside. We have a USB to micro USB sync and charge cable. If you've never seen the micro USB, that's what it looks like. We have the charger, which is a USB style charger, so you use that sync and charge cable, and then we have a number of different sort of adapters for that charger, so that you can use it in the UK, Europe and USA. That's all included in the box, which is quite useful. Then we have a headset, wired headset with 4-pole 2.5mm jack, which is quite good. It's a good compromise. Because the adapters for that are quite easy to come by, so you can actually use standard 3.5mm headphones with an adapter. We have an inline microphone with a push button. It's pretty basic, there's no volume control there. And then the headphones themselves, which kind of average. And then we have foam covers for the headphones. Underneath we have the manual, getting started guide, and there's a CD-ROM with ActiveSync and a trial of Outlook 2007. That's about it for what's in the box. So let's have a look at the device itself. Take the cover off. So there we have the device itself. We have a completely flat front, which is touchscreen. That's a 2.8-inch diagonal, quarter VGA, so that's 240 by 320. Below that we have just red and green keys for the send and end phone keys, and a push button in the centre. Then we have OK and a Windows button either side, which are actually quite firm, pretty difficult to press, almost like they're not buttons, but believe me, they are. Around the side we have dedicated button for the camera, and then we have cover over the micro USB connector and the headphone socket there, which is, as I say, 2.5mm jack. On the top we have a switch, which is the silent and ring button, or ring switch, so that you can actually silence the phone with a switch rather than through software. Quite useful. Then down the side we have a lock button, a volume control and a soft key. On the back we have a 3.1 megapixel camera with a flash, and there is this sort of shiny mirror finish around the outside, which is to allow you to take photographs of yourself should you wish to do so. Then on the bottom we have stylus, which is telescopic and is two-stage telescopic. First time I've seen one that's two-stage like this, so it's quite long when it's fully extended, so it's a decent length. Complaints I've made in the past about stylus being too short isn't the case here, but it is a little flimsy, so in my hand, as I'm actually holding it more like I would hold a pen, it's flexing a little, so, but it's not a bad stylus. It just pops in the bottom. Then we can open the messenger up, and we have a full QWERTY keyboard, very similar to the Titan 2, as you can see. Buttons are quite positive, and we have shared numeric keys here with shift functions. If we just open the back, and we'll try to install the battery. Our SIM card goes under here, and our micro SD card pops in the side just here. Let's just put all this back and put the battery inside. Install the back cover, and we'll power on. Okay, while just waiting for that to start up, let's just compare that to the Titan 2. Titan 2 is obviously extremely popular, but we have a lot of similarities between the two. They both have the same display, both 2.8 inch, both quarter VGA. I would have really preferred to have seen a VGA screen on the new HP, but sadly that's not the case. As you can see, the QWERTY keyboards are very, very similar, layout and size-wise, practically identical, really, in terms of size and layout. The Titan 2 does have the little indicators for caps lock and function lock, which the HP doesn't, unfortunately. But let's just set up and run through. Okay, well, we're just waiting for any custom applications to install. Let me just run down the rest of the specification. Windows Mobile 6.1 Professional, 528 MHz Qualcomm processor with 128 meg of RAM and 256 meg of ROM, pretty standard stuff. Obviously the full QWERTY, we have Wi-Fi, which is 802.11b and G, Bluetooth 2, micro SD card supports SDHC, up to 8 gig claimed in specification. I might be able to test that with a 16 gig to see if that's actually accurate. It's tri-band for 3G and quad-band for GSM, so you can actually use this device pretty much anywhere in the world. We have built-in GPS, which supports assisted GPS, 3.1 megapixel camera, which I already mentioned, does support geotagging, which is quite cool. We weigh around 160 grams, which is more or less the same as the Titan 2. Obviously, we can see there we have a lot of similarities between the two devices. Advantage, obviously, of the HP is the flat front screen, which I really like personally, because it means you can use your finger a lot easier, especially in the corners of the screen, whereas the Titan 2 with that bezel is a little bit more difficult. And obviously the HP is a slightly newer design. To navigate around the front here, we have obviously the touch screen, and this is an optical track joystick type thing, so we don't have physical up-down D-pad, but this works on an optical recognition of my finger. Built-in Google Maps and Google Search, as you can see there, and if we go into the Programs menu, we have a quick look down. We have games, as you'd expect, Office Mobile, HP Photo Smart, Jet Set PDF Creator, Opera Browser is installed, Task Manager, Java is installed, Sun Java, Voice Recorder, Remote Desktop, and so on. And quickly step back out of there into Settings. You can see in Settings, got pretty much standard stuff there. Under System, got external GPS, HP Assets Viewer, Power Management, Power Saving Mode, Restore Factory Defaults, all that sort of stuff. Nothing terribly out of the ordinary, and again, nothing terribly out of the ordinary in Settings. Going to be doing a full review of the HP iPAQ data messenger over the next couple of weeks, and we'll obviously make comparisons to the HTC Titan 2, and that review will be online pretty soon.